Let me just start by saying I feel dumber for having held this book in my hands.
Okay. The real excitement is playing the game. I don't spend a lot of time worrying about what I should have done differently or what's going to happen next. This is an awkward sentence. If you ask me exactly what the deals I'm about to describe all add up to in the end, I'm not sure I have a very good answer. Really?
If you ask me exactly what the deals I'm about to describe all add up to in the end, I'm not sure I have a very good answer, except that I've had a very good time making them.
I'm glad you're having fun. I'm glad that you didn't worry about the details like, was this going to end up causing a nuclear war?
No, because if you can't anticipate what's coming down the road, you're going to make some really bad deals, which will lead to probably at least 4 of your businesses going bankrupt. Getting into the casino industry when you have no idea, starting airline companies when you have no idea, starting helicopter companies when you have no idea.
I don't think you should reevaluate the things that you say afterwards, because I think, just having said them is enough. And plow forward blindly into the future, no introspection, no analysis. Perfect advice. Fantastic, Donald. Thank you.
One thing I've learned about the press is that they're always hungry for a good story.
And the more sensational, the better. It's in the nature of the job, and I understand that.
The point is that if you're a little different or a little outrageous, or if you do things that are bold or controversial, the press is going to write about you.
This is one of Trump's 10 commandments. Do everything you can, including jumping jacks and running around screaming in Times Square, to make sure the press covers you.
The way that he sees it, it all got him elected. So I don't think there's any chance that he's going to move back from this, which was written so long ago that it's pretty much like ingrained in his psyche.
What's dangerous is if you're an attention addict and you spend decades making sure that above all else, you're the subject of media fascination, to the detriment of running a business, to the detriment of personal relationships, to the detriment of sane conversation, that when you finally end up in the White House, you can do a lot of damage.
The final key to the way I promote is bravado. I play to people's fantasies.
People may not always think big themselves, but they can still get very excited by those who do.
That's why a little hyperbole never hurts. People want to believe that something is the biggest and the greatest and the most spectacular.
I call it truthful hyperbole. It's an innocent form of exaggeration and a very effective form of promotion.
I think some people would actually call it lying about things, but he sees it as an innocent form of exaggeration. A lot of Trump supporters, even when he's saying things that they know are not true, they actually think he's just exaggerating. He's like the guy in the bar who's relaying a story about some fish that he caught.
I had the good fortune to be sued by Donald Trump. In the course of that deposition, it turned out that he had lied about 30 times, everything from what he got in speaking fees, to how much he sold units in his condos for, to how much money he had borrowed from his father.
Now, what he has shown us is that if you keep repeating the big lie over and over again, there's clearly a percentage of the citizenry that is going to buy it. You can spin marketing only so far, but if you don't have the goods in whatever field you're in, it will not last. It will not be built to last. It may work for a short period of time, but ultimately, the truth is going to catch up with you.
In most large public corporations, getting an answer to a question requires going through 7 layers of executives, most of whom are superfluous in the first place.
In our organization, anyone with a question could bring it directly to me and get an answer immediately. That's precisely why I've been able to act so much faster than my competitors on so many deals. Well, obviously, flattening organizations can be helpful if you can cut out a lot of bureaucracy, but I think it's a very bad idea to have all decisions ladder up to the leader.
It's a way of operating when you believe you are the source of all the answers, which we know our president tends to believe he is. So that's a lovely model when you're all-knowing and wise to perfection. I don't think it's a reasonable business plan.
You got a typo in the book. costly instead of costly. Interesting. Let's try it again. I fight when I feel I'm getting screwed, even if it's costly and difficult and highly risky. Look, you should fight for the right things. You should fight against injustice. You should fight against meanness, but you should do it honorably. You should do it in the spirit of a larger interest in a larger cause other than yourself. And if you do that, people see it, and you'll end up in the right place, as will your company.